Alright, Monday is the graduation party. Tuesday, last school field trip. Wednesday, shopping for a totally new wardrobe. Thursday, bury a time capsule for 10 years. Friday, party with friends. And finally, Saturday, move out for college, baby. Need any help? No, Dad. I got it. Sweetheart, you're gonna exhaust yourself like this. Take it easy. Dad, I'm gonna be all on my own. You gotta let me do things on my own. They grow up and they don't need you anymore. Dad, I'm not feeling good. Palmer? Palmer? Palmer woke up in the hospital. She immediately checked the time. I slept through the whole day and night? She turned to see her mom and dad beside her. Mom, why didn't you wake me up? You know I have to get ready for the party. Palmer. Mom? Why are you crying? Why am I in the hospital? Palmer, there's something you need to know. What? Did something happen to me? Palmer, you've been diagnosed with cancer. What? I'm only 16. This is a joke, right? Palmer couldn't believe what she was hearing. She was so young. She had so many plans looking into the future. And now she was learning she wouldn't even make it. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson were devastated. They only wished they could have done something about it. But it was too late. All these years, the fainting spells and the lightheadedness, symptoms that Palmer had pushed through and ignored, turned out to be the effects of something else. Doctors said Palmer didn't have much time, and this revelation took a heavy toll on her. All of a sudden, the girl who was so lively, so ambitious, didn't care anymore. Palmer, come on, let's go out, get some ice cream. What's the point of anything anymore? I'm gonna die anyways. Palmer, don't say that. It's the truth, Dad. The sooner you accept it, the better. Palmer canceled her plans for college and stayed back home that year. She started her treatment. As the doctor said, within a few months, her symptoms only increased. And she started to get weaker and weaker. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, I think it'll be best to send Palmer to our hospital's cancer facility. There, she'll get the constant treatment she needs. It's a last hope for her. On insistence of Palmer's doctor, when her condition only worsened, Palmer was shifted to a facility for further treatment. Mom, do I have to stay here? I'd rather be at home. Sweetheart, this is what's best for you. There's no point of trying anything anymore, Mom. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, it's time for visitors to leave. Don't lose hope, Palmer. the facility, every evening at 7, the lights would be shut down for the night. Palmer had a semi-private room from where she could see other patients. Much of them were old. Rarely did Palmer see anyone like herself. Hi. Hey, don't usually see anyone young around here. Yeah, I guess we're the unfortunate few. I'm Palmer. Emily. So why are you here? Genetic disorder. Runs in the family. Every couple of hours during the day, different nurses would come to check on her. But the night shift was handled by a few nurses. Good evening. I'm Vanessa, your nurse for the night. How are you feeling? Fantastic. Never been better. Things will get better. Please, I'm just tired of the lies and the pity. Sometimes miracles work in strange ways. Vanessa, she was rather nice, and the other patients in the wards were quite fond of her. You've been doing a lot better these past few days. I have been feeling a little different. That's wonderful. A couple of days staying at the facility and listening to the encouraging words of the nurses and patients, Palmer was starting to feel a little different herself. But then, the next morning, there was news. She died? But just yesterday she was fine. All this time, Palmer had only imagined it, thought about it. But seeing death with her own eyes shook her up. Soon, it would be her time. Palmer closed her eyes and tried to sleep. But just in an hour or so, she was up having to go to the bathroom. Palmer slowly got out of bed. But opening the bathroom door in their room, she scrunched her nose. Disgusting. I can't use this. Almost midnight, the hospital was near silent, and the hallways were all dimmed. Palmer walked down the hallway to search for a bathroom. Is this a bathroom? Just as Palmer slightly creaked the door open, she stopped. It was a storage room, but someone was inside. Vanessa? Palmer's heart froze from what she saw. She immediately stepped back and headed back to her room. What was she doing? Drinking blood? Did she see me? Rushing under her bedsheets, Palmer was frightened and now nervous for when Vanessa would come to check on her. Did I just see? Did I imagine it? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I startle you? No, it's okay. Is everything all right? Yes. I know it all came as a shock. To you, but You don't have to be scared. What? Death. It will all see us sooner or later. The important thing is to enjoy the moments you have. As Vanessa checked her vitals, Palmer noticed a stain of blood on her scrubs. Could it really be? Does she really know I know? Your pulse is a little high. You need to relax and rest. I'll see you in the morning. But that turned out to be the worst night ever. Palmer couldn't sleep thinking about what she saw. And the next morning, she was thundered finding out there was another death in the ward. He's the same man Vanessa drew blood from yesterday. Something isn't right. Palmer realized over the week she had been at the facility. Many patients had suddenly passed away, though they were suffering terminal illness. Palmer had doubts. There was something more going on, and especially doubts about Vanessa Croft. Who is she? The next day, one of Palmer's friends came to visit her. How's it been? The usual. Thanks for dropping by. Of course I was going to drop by. Jess, can you do something for me? Anything. There's a nurse here, Vanessa Croft. Can you find out about her? Piece of cake. Palmer desperately waited for Jessica, and the next day she got a call. Did you find anything? Yeah, she's a rather experienced nurse. She's worked at a few facilities before. But guess what? I dug a little into her profile, and it turns out there were information on Vanessa Croft, but the pictures were all of different women. What? How can that be? I don't know. Strange. Jess, I don't know if I should tell you this, but I saw something strange at the facility last night. She was... Vampires change their appearance? Vampire powers. A vampire who has spent a lifetime long enough may acquire such abilities to morph oneself into any desired form, so long as it continues to feed on life. I have to tell Palmer. Jessica immediately called up Palmer and told her everything. What? What are you saying? I think someone is following me. I have to go. Wait, no. I have a lot of questions. I'll call you back. The next evening, Palmer was waiting for Jessica's call, but when she didn't, Palmer decided to call her herself. Jessica was missing. Is she, Palmer didn't know what to believe, apart from what she saw with her own eyes. But at the same time, how could that be? Palmer, dear, how are you feeling? I'm alright, Mom. You look a little worried. Mom, I was wondering, the supernatural, does it really exist? By supernatural, if you mean werewolves and vampires, then I'm not too sure. But if you mean a source of goodness and a source of evil, then I believe there is a supernatural world out there. A world we can't see. But why do you ask? Are there creatures? Like demons? If there are demons, there are also angels. And in the end, good always wins over evil. That's the way the world works. Mrs. Wilson took out a small book from her bag and a flashlight. Keep this with you. Maybe you'll find this book interesting. What is it? It's a book written by a woman who claims she went blind after seeing an angel. Interesting. I thought so. After her mom left that night, Palmer kept on wondering about what she said. Good versus evil. I have to find out what's going on. That night, after Vanessa made her rounds about the wards, Palmer waited. When the patients were left for the night, she slowly crept out of her room towards the nurse's office. As she looked through the shelves, she noticed a file of patient records. She died from anemia? 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 How can they all have anemia? What are you doing here? Palmer froze. She turned to see Vanessa step into the room and close the door. What are you? I think you know well. You killed them. Now, let's not use such harsh words. I gave them a peaceful end. And as for you... As Vanessa took a step near her, Palmer immediately ran into the closet and locked herself in. Palmer, you can't hide in there. You know you'll have to come out. Leave. Look, I'm sorry, but if you're here, you're not going back. Ever. This is where it's bound to end. It will only get worse. Bit by bit. Like fruit rotting on a vine. Is that really what you want? No. I can relieve you. Like I relieved them. You won't have to wait around for the agony. I can take care of you. Will it hurt? Open the door, and I'll show you. As the door slowly creaked open, Palmer looked at Vanessa. A smirk appeared on her face. But as soon as she charged towards her, Palmer took out her flashlight and turned on the black light. No! No! Move that away! It burns! Palmer stared in horror as Vanessa's skin began to blister. She yelled as she took on her true form. Her teeth pierced through her lips. Her eyes lit up red in anger. What's that noise? All of a sudden, the door burst open. Everyone froze by the sight they saw. What was she? A creature of the night.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.